Good morning, everyone. I'm just waiting on my co-host to pop up backstage so I can add her to the panel. Let me go ahead and read the room really quick. Maybe I should drink a little coffee. I got this raspy voice this morning. Good morning, Coco TTV. Good morning. Great premiere last night. If you missed it, go back and watch it. She really put together a really good presentation of all the content creators who recreated her mukbang for her 1,000 subscriber celebration. That was beautiful. Never seen nothing like that on YouTube. Originality, baby. So, Coco, if you want to drop that link so everyone can go back and watch, please do so. Good morning, official Jamia. Good morning, Annabelle. Welcome to Coffee and Donuts. Good morning, Mommy. Good morning, daughters and friends, Jamie Fishman, Coco TTV, Annabelle. Good morning, Shawanda Williams, everyone in the chat and panel. Did I get everybody? Mama, you be speak to people that don't even be in the room. Where is Fisherman? I don't even see Fisherman in the room. But I understand. You know he'll be here shortly, huh? I'm just waiting. Did I drop the link? I'm waiting for my co-host. I think I did drop the link. Let me drop it again. Y'all, we got a topic this morning. Y'all know we don't discuss bubblegum topics over here. You know, we always want to give a variety of adult conversational topics. We want to give a variety of real life situations, real life conversations, real conversations. You know, and we don't sugarcoat over here. It's real life. There's no need to pretend, about things that are going on in the world. We cover all topics, with taste and respect for everyone. You know, so our panel is always open. I think that's her now. Our panel is always open. Oh my goodness. Our panel is always open to everyone. Let's see. Let's Ice, turn your mic on.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. You are tuned into Coffee and Donuts with Miss T.
Alexis.
Today is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. It is at the top of the hour. It is 6 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Lexus, have you had your coffee this morning?
Yes, I've had my coffee and my donut.
Okay, we all know that the early bird catches the worm. When?
Always.
Always. I just want to speak to everyone in the room again. Good morning, MLW Fishing Man. Good morning, Shawanda Williams. Good morning, House of X Entertainment. Good morning, Coco TTV. Good morning, Diane Beckworth. Good morning, Official Jamia. Good morning, Shawanda Williams. Good morning, MLTV. Okay, I read the room. We got 600 people in the room. Good morning to everybody. Lexus, we gonna say a prayer. We still praying for Ashley Rose to get her strength back. We don't just leave her out there like that, okay? We're still
Okay.
gonna pray for her. And if you want us to add your name or a family member's name to our prayer list, still, go to Instagram and we'll do just that. Just let us know. Okay. Let's go ahead and say a prayer so we can dig into this topic this morning. Okay.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for another day. Lord, as we lift our sister Ashley up, God, we ask you to strengthen her body and meet every need in the mighty name of Jesus. Lord, also touch our listeners, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus. Bless them in a special way. In your son Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Okay, amen, amen, and amen again. Okay, y'all. So the topic is you caught them cold busted cheating. Whether it's a family member or a friend's spouse, you caught them. Do you tell it or keep it to yourself? We can discuss all viewpoints. All viewpoints are respected. The panel is open to anyone to come up and discuss your viewpoint. Here, there is no judgment zone. Everyone's opinion will be respected. There's no right or wrong answers. I just ask that we agree to disagree. We don't have to agree, but we will respect each other's opinions. Okay, I just want to make that clear. The panel is always open. So Lexus Ice, let's roll.
You know something? If you caught your family member or friend's spouse cheating, would you tell it? Well, I'm going to say this. There are a lot of people who will not allow you to come to them and discuss their spouse.
That's
They
true.
have that much confidence and that much space, and they believe every word their spouse tells them. And so you have to first know the person's personality to know to kind of
To even approach.
place yourself in that, approach them. Yeah, approach them to tell it. But me myself, if I saw it, myself, if I seen it, uh, I think I would probably just tell it because it is so much. It's so much going on in the world today, and it's just no place for people to be cheating. All these sexual transmitted diseases and different things like that. And so I think I would tell it, but now I've known people who have been cheating and they saw their spouse, family member, or friend, and they know that they was caught, and they actually approached the family member or friend on the spot and was like, "This better not get back to my wife, or this better not get back to my husband." And then when they made it home, they begin to say negative things about that family member or friend to their spouse to get their spouse not talking to the family member friend because they knew their family member or friend had information on them. So I think I would tell it. I would.
Okay, I understand your viewpoint, but what about this?
Uh-huh.
The person that you caught them cold busted. You caught them no offense, but not
Mm-hmm.
only caught them with a person, they were actually caught in a romantic situation. Okay,
Uh-huh.
let's say it's a
Uh-huh.
family member spouse. So you go to that family member and tell them bring them back what you observed. You
Uh-huh.
think about their reaction to the situation. You don't know what condition that person is in. As far as their mental stability, they may already know that they have a cheater. They may
Yep.
already be aware of that. And then
Mm-hmm.
if you tell them, they say they don't know, and you tell them. So when they see the spouse, you don't know if they're gonna get a gun and blow their brains out, or if there's gonna be a big
Oh
argument,
yeah.
somebody gets hurt, or you just
Uh-huh.
don't know. And let's just say you tell them, and if they have a big blowout, they separate or get back together, or fight and get back together, and then what Nixon told me. Okay, they done mended fences. They're back together, happy. They worked out their problems, but now the other spouse is upset with you, can't stand you. So
Well, you know something.
uh,
What I would do was, again, I would make sure that that person is approachable, and then I would just maybe throw a hint out there. First, I'll let them know to please, please, I'll go and come. I'm like, this is a confidential conversation.
girl,
Don't call my name, but I saw
you
so and so
can
the
tell
other day.
all.
And
Don't mention my name. As soon as the heat is up, the situation is high, the energy, anxiety, adrenaline pumping. Lexus told me. And if you cold busted caught them, they saw you, see them, they already
Mhm.
know who told it. They
Yeah,
already know who told it. So this is a sticky situation. Good
yeah.
morning, Donna Green. This is a situation that needs to be handled with care, because you don't know if let's say if it was the husband cheating. You don't know if that wife is the type of person when he get home to be waiting on him. That's the part of I'm thinking about. I understand your viewpoint about the STDs out there, and that is so true. Especially if it's a close family member or a friend. You don't want them being subject to, you know, all the STDs out there and stuff. I understand that part. But a situation like this needs really needs to be handled with absolute care, because it could go either way. You
Oh yeah.
the information you telling them could result in someone getting, seriously hurt behind it. Or if they fuss and fight and make up, so now you're the villain, you know? So
You know something? You're right. I got an example that this is true. I remember I was working at this job, and so this Monday morning, one of my coworkers came to work, and she was telling the other coworker that the coworker, her and her husband had gone on a couple's weekend, and the other coworker husband was with his girlfriend. They were all together all weekend, and so when she got to work, she was telling the lady, you know, your husband cheating because his girlfriend was with me and my husband the whole weekend on a couple trip. And that lady just about stopped what she was doing and called her husband and confronted him. And it was like a big mess. He came to the job and it was like a big argument. And I was like, okay, should that coworker should have, if you have partied with them all weekend, you know, you must was friends with them. Why did you come and start this confusion? So I've seen situations that didn't turn out good.
wow. Annabelle says everyone has a phone nowadays. Take a short video and send it to the other party. Wow. That's the same thing as telling them. When I worked at the nursing home, now this is true. It was a nurse. Her and her husband had been together. They had children and everything. They had been together maybe 5 or 6 years. And in Tunica, they have like where the casinos and hotels and stuff are in Tunica, Mississippi. And her husband and his friend had went. It was his birthday, so it's supposed to be like a boys' trip. So they were at a restaurant. Somebody took a picture of him, and it was him and his boyfriend. Both of them had their girlfriends, but both of them were married. So somebody took a picture of them sitting down eating with both, with their girlfriends, and put it on Facebook on a fake account, and it went viral. And behind that spouse, one of them, the nurse that worked with me, her and her husband split up behind it. And she was so embarrassed, and everybody was telling her, you don't have anything to be embarrassed about. The shame is on him. But she came to work, she was in the office, embarrassed to come out of the office, and was just telling people, how he embarrassed, and everybody was trying to comfort her and tell her, that's not your shame, that's his shame. But they ended up separating behind it. They really did.
Oh wow.
Over that video going viral, you can see them just as clear. Whoever the other person was, they had sat there for a while. When they came in, they saw them order the food. They sat there and ate the food and everything. I mean, clear as day, all the faces could be seen and everything. And they put it on a fake Facebook page, and it went viral.
Wow.
Yeah. So if that just goes to show what Annabelle said. You don't want to be the person to tell them. Get that video.
Well, Miss T, you remember back here a couple of years ago, there was a spouse that was cheating and had a baby, and they made a fake page with the somebody took a picture of a newborn baby, made a fake page, and called the page "I'm a bastard's child," and that made our local news that
Yeah.
they were trying to tell the wife that her husband had a baby.
Yeah. And I also remember a situation. It's been, I think I was maybe, I don't know if I was in high school or what. But this couple, and that's just go to show you, don't get in people's business. This couple were together and they separated. I see go down dirty dog. They separated, and she moved in with her aunt. She had a little girl. She moved in with her aunt. And the husband kept trying to get her back, kept trying to get her back, kept trying to get her back. But the auntie kept getting in the way of it. She kept getting, it was her house. She kept getting in the way of them getting back together, And I guess he got to a boiling point where he snapped. He snapped. Girl, you remember they lived in some apartment buildings. And
Mm-hmm.
he chased the auntie behind the house. He showed her that gun. He chased the auntie behind the house, shot her dead behind the apartments. He shot his wife dead, and got his little girl and rode around with her in the truck for a while. He blew his little girl, shot her in the head at the traffic light, and then shot himself. Do you
Mm-hmm.
remember that?
Oh, I remember that. That story made national news.
It sure
Right
did.
here in our yeah.
And then he
Mm-hmm.
stopped at a traffic light, shot his little girl
Mm-hmm.
in the head, and shot himself. He sure
Mm-hmm.
did.
Yeah.
And they had the mom, the aunt, and the daughter's funeral at the same time at the high school here.
Oh yeah. And then the sad part about it was, they had just left the police station because he had like Sunday visitation, and so they was like, well, during the visitation, we'll exchange her, at the police station. So they had just left the police station, letting him do the visitation, and he had the girl in the car with him, and he followed them. He followed them.
And that pickup truck.
Uh huh.
I mean,
Yep.
they shook our whole community. It was
Mhm.
bad. And the whole community, from people from the local towns, they had at the high school in the gym, and they everybody, the gym was jam packed. It was like it was a concert. You know how a concert jam packed? It was
Mhm.
jam packed. It wasn't even sitting room. Okay, let me read the room. Okay, mom said I know a person that lost their life and then the other person killed himself, so I would just pray about them. Is that the situation I just talked about? That's what we're talking about, mama. Coco said the panel is open if you want to come up. Annabelle said, I'm not saying a word. The video is there and they can make up their own mind. Annabelle said, she ain't approaching nobody. Here go
That's
the
right,
video.
Annabelle.
Good morning, Dr. Davis Show. Blessed greetings, everyone. He said, who did all of this? Y'all, we don't call names over here. This Servant David, thank you. This is your first time. We don't call names over here. But you're welcome to come to the panel. Thank you for showing up. Official James said, Jesus.
Mhm.
Vibes with Danny Love. Welcome to Coffee and Donuts. She says, good morning, everyone. Okay, praying couple cooking series. Good morning, everyone. Tangent, Lexus Ice. We here. Y'all in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Coco's welcoming everybody in. Mama said she remembered that it was so sad. Yeah. The servant days. Did you guys know that the news and media twist things all the time? A lot of times who I seen what a lot of times who you are seen to be the victim is really not the victim at all. The news it will twist things, but if it's local, you got the T on it. If it's
Oh
local.
yeah, and we had the tea on that one.
Yes, yes. Praying Cup Cookie Series says, Coco TTV, good morning. Your live was on and popping. We watched it. It was, I was saying that at the beginning of the show, it was that premiere was on and popping last night. They put together a good presentation. They really did. The whole family got involved. Okay, the servant David said many times what is portrayed to be real is actually the opposite. Good morning, love travel with Wade. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, coffee and donuts crew. We know that the news will twist things. That's what they do. That's what they do. They twist things. They twist it. They give it more juice. But when a situation is local, when you have a local situation, you already got the tea. You know the details before the police can put the case together. Okay, let's see. We have somebody backstage. Who do we have? Official Jamie. Let me add to the panel. Good morning, Official Jamie. You are now on Coffee and Donuts. Welcome to the panel, but you need no introduction. This is not your first time on the panel. Okay, so the topic is, what was the topic? Cold busted cheating. Do you tell or do you keep a lock on it?
Okay, so good morning, ladies. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Good
chat.
morning.
I can speak from my experience. Unfortunately, I had to deal with infidelity. And the person who was involved actually contacted me.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. The nerve,
yeah,
the nerve
yeah.
audacity.
I was flabbergasted, like literally flabbergasted.
Did you know the
And
person?
I did not, I
Okay.
did not know anything. I didn't have an inkling. I
Oh
was just like, oh, okay, wow. Uh, Yeah. So for me, it wasn't, oh, I'm going to go after that person. Literally, she asked me if I was his wife. I said yes, and that was the end of my part of it.
Oh wow.
Cuz I didn't have anything to say to her. I was like, I'm not married to her.
And right, the loyalty's with your husband. Let me ask you this. Well, let me say this. Sometimes the cheater will not tell the other person that they are married. So the other person could be thinking they're dating a single person, but don't be crazy single person. You can't never come to the house. You can't never meet the family. None of that.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
okay, a bell should be going off. You know, you
Exactly.
can't be a few friends because your friends gonna cover. You got some family members that'll cover too. But if you can't ever come
And that's and
live,
that's where I was.
that's
I
yes.
feel like his family actually covered it up. It was a lot that I found out much later. And, when I started to track things, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So people knew and I didn't know.
Oh,
And it was really crazy. And yeah, I told him I forgave her because she was honest about it. And it
she
took
didn't
me a
get
while.
married.
Yeah, and I was like, it took me a while to forgive him because I was like, you weren't honest about it. It took him a while to be honest about it. And I was just like, listen, I wish somebody would have told me because
Wow.
you're putting my life in
Yes.
jeopardy. You're putting my kids in jeopardy. Like, I was like, dude, you gotta go. Like, we were separated for a short time.
You all did separate after that incident.
We separated for a little while.
A little
By
while.
by the grace of God, it's literally only by the grace of God that we even got back together.
How long were you all separated, Jamil?
We were honestly separated maybe like 4 months, and
Okay.
a lot of counseling, a lot of prayer, a lot of prayer. And I kept asking God, why I got to be the bigger person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why I got to be the bigger person? But ultimately, it was to be there for him in the transitioning when he transitioned. So, and I was just so angry. I was so angry for a very long time. And I was just like, dude, but I wish somebody would have told me,
Oh wow.
to be honest with you, because I was just like, listen, I'm too old for this nonsense.
I hear you on that one.
I ain't got time for this. And we have been married. We were married a total of almost 23 years. So
Oh
it was just like, dude, we've been together for a very long time. And listen, what the heck? So
wow.
yeah, so it was a lot of factors, but I truly wish somebody would have told me. And if I saw something in my friends, I would tell them because I don't want them to go through the hurt that I went through and be blindsided with craziness and all of that. So, yeah, definitely, I would want to be able to tell somebody the truth. And I mean, if you're truly friends, if you're truly family, they shouldn't take it out on you. But I know how y'all feel because people do retaliate on the wrong person. And
Mm-hmm.
and like I said,
That's what little Travis said. You stay out of people's affairs, they'll turn on you.
exactly. And like I said, I didn't have no beef with that girl because at the end of the day, I wasn't married to her. She was honest with me, and she didn't have to be. She
Yeah.
didn't have to be.
So
So,
so let me ask you this, Jamil.
uh
Uh
huh.
when you all got back together, um, how was the relationship? I mean, as far as like the trust and the love. I mean, how were you all able to mend after the 4 months?
It was honestly a lot of therapy, a lot of I was already going to a therapist, and this is how I know God set stuff up for you because I was going to a counselor before I even found out what
Mm-hmm.
was going on, and then that counselor was the help to get us in a better place where I wasn't like wanting to choke him out in his sleep.
Yeah. But
There
from
was some days.
that
There was some days. there was some days where I was like, I literally don't understand how you sleeping in this bed and think I won't choke you to sleep. Like literally.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a while. It took a long while to finally the intimacy. It took a very long time because
Wow.
I was just like, no, you put my life in jeopardy. You put
Mm-hmm.
my everything in jeopardy, and I just didn't feel right at all. It took a long time. It took probably a little over a year
Oh, wow.
to really fully trust and feel like I can trust and yeah, it was a lot, but a lot of the people around him that um I feel like they kind of helped protect him from
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I was very angry with them too because I was like, y'all saw stuff and didn't even say anything to me. Like, and as a matter of fact, one of his cousins actually tried to tell me, and he denied, he denied, he denied. And I was like, he kept trying to, he said, Jamie, I'm not trying to say anything. I just need you to understand something is not right.
Oh,
And I was like, are you trying to say he's having an affair? He was like, I'm not going to say that. And I was like, you just need to be honest. Just say it. If it is, say it. And so, of course, my husband denied it. And he was so mad at his cousin.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, if you were really not doing anything, why are you so mad with him? Like, it was kind of like some of the red flags started to go off after the fact. And I was like, huh. This is why you were so salty about him even saying anything to me. And I was just like, okay. And it was only a short, maybe like a month after his cousin said something to me that the girl contacted me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she saw a post that I tagged him in. And that's when she contacted me. So I was like, oh, okay. Girl. Woo.
Mm-hmm. So
Literally, and you
that conversation when she called you, that conversation. So okay, I'm trying to understand. I'm nosy.
No,
So
so this is what happened.
okay,
Literally, I tagged him in a post. She hit me up in my inbox on Facebook and was like, "Are you Quincy's husband? I mean, wife?" And I was like, "Yes." And that's all I said. And then she basically laid out, she was like, "Oh, you think he's out of town. He's not. He's this in this
oh
place and that place. And he's been with me the whole weekend, blah blah blah."
wow.
So I was like, oh, really? So I contacted my husband. This is so crazy. It's like a soap opera. I contacted my husband and I said, if you're in this state, the state that you said you're in, send me a picture of one of the, you know how you like welcome to South Carolina
Yeah.
signs? Send me a picture. And he was like, I'm driving. What are you talking about? Blah, blah. And I don't even know that girl. I don't even know her. Blah, blah. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then he finally, you could hear his tires squeal and he pulls over to the side of the road and he's freaking out and he's yelling. And I'm like, why are you yelling? Because I was super
Because
calm
he
at
was
the time.
cold. We lost Jamie. Jamie, hit that link again. Okay, you are tuned into Coffee and Donuts with Missy and Lex Ice on the panel. We had official Jamie and somehow we've lost her. But Jamie, hit that link again. Let me go ahead and read the room. Welcome, James Wilson. Where you been, James Wilson? Good morning. Let's see. Chillaxing with Queen T is in the building. Okay, let me read some comments and everything. Love to travel with Wave says, I could forgive, but couldn't see myself with you ever. You ain't gonna forget. That's one thing for sure. You can't, Annabelle says you can't steal someone's heart if you don't want to be stolen. It has to be willing. Two parties involved. Okay, I think that's official. Jamie coming back. Let me scroll back up. Okay, mom said, look, these devils know at some point they're going to be with the married person. They won't They want to break up because they want them. Okay, come on now. They want them, so they want you to know. I have heard people say the wife do. Yeah, okay. I think I understand what she's trying to say. At some point, you know you with that married person. Like I was saying earlier, if you can come to where he lives, you can meet family members. But I can't even say family members because sometimes they cover for them. So if you, the main thing is, if you cannot come to his house and spend time with him, like he's at your house spending time with you, a red flag should go up anyway, especially if it's been 2, 3 months. At some point, you should have been able to come to his house now. Come on now. Or if you can reach him at certain times of the day or night, you know something up. Don't be in denial. You know that man married or live with somebody or something.
And you know something else, Miss T?
Uh,
I have known victims that really didn't know. I have known people that really thought they was in a committed relationship. They was going places with the person, and all of a sudden they find out this person is married with kids and got a nice home, and they are devastated. They are heartbroken because they have been portrayed, and they honestly did not know. They honestly didn't know that this was a married person they was talking to. Now I feel like okay, you are the victim, but once you find out, that's your cutting off point. Once you know, you ought to leave it alone. But now if you continue, once you know and you continue to indulge, then you know there's an issue. But if you didn't know and now you found out, let it alone. You are the victim if that happens.
You've been watching Cheaters, huh? Okay. Let me get. I think it's official. Yeah, let me get her back on the panel. All right, official Jamie, you're back on the.
Sorry about that. I hit the
Okay.
phone, got all excited. But yeah, he actually pulled over and he was freaking out and he denied. I I was like, so because he said he was in another state, he had to play the role. Now, mind you, I was like, okay, so if the girl just told me you in the state, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. So I was like, okay, all right, no problem. Send me a picture of the sign. Didn't hear nothing. Didn't see no pictures, no nothing.
Mm.
So I actually ended up in the hospital for 3 days. I had a extreme panic attack,
Oh wow.
and the doctor, because I said I had chest pain, of course they kept me in the hospital to run every test, and I was like, there's no test for a broken heart.
Oh wow.
And they my husband showed up at the hospital, but he couldn't show up, right away
Right.
because he's supposed to be 3 states away. So
Right. There's something. Oh my God.
oh God. So he had to play the role and he came to the hospital. My phone was dead. Now this man don't know where I'm at. He's in the hospital searching up and down the hospital trying to find me. I was in the cardiology area getting
Hmm.
tests done and my phone was dead and they was searching and searching for me and when he got finally found me and my father was there and they came to the room. Now my father was a known cheater, like oh my God. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, Lord, this is crazy. You got two cheaters sitting on the couch. One is my father, and if I tell my father, he gonna try to kill my husband, and neither one of them are any better than the other.
Right.
So my sister being deaf, she came up to the hospital. Neither one of them know sign language. So I'm in sign language going off, like
Oh my.
cursing him out, cursing my dad out, cursing everybody out. My sister and her friend are cracking up laughing. And I'm sitting there like, okay, this is not my real life right now.
Oh wow.
It was just like unreal. And I was just like, okay. So it took a little minute to get down to the truth, and probably like a month and a half later, I finally found out the full truth, and I was just like, okay, and I
He told
literally,
you the truth.
huh?
He told you the full truth.
No, I found messages on his tablet,
Oh wow.
and I was like, okay, all right, and I Ooh, that night was ugly. Like on Facebook, I put I'm single. People was freaking out. I was like, I was done. I put his clothes out the door. I said, "You got 30 minutes
Oh wow.
to come get this stuff before it makes it on the trash pile." And I mean, I even threw out his, his daddy ashes.
Oh wow. You put the dad.
I put his daddy ashes out the door. I said, "You come get your daddy, your everything, everything. Run me my keys, get out this house, you
Wow.
gone." I threw his stuff out that door so fast. I said, "Oh my God." And literally, this is the thing about it. I had to go to the doctor
Mm-hmm.
because of the situation. I had to make sure
Right.
that I was safe
Right.
because I didn't know what was going on. I
Right.
didn't know if he was using protection, none
Right.
of that stuff. So I had to be tested for everything
Yeah.
and just to cover myself. So like I said, I wish somebody would have told me.
Oh wow.
I wish somebody would have told me because, as a married couple, we were unprotected,
Right.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like I wish somebody would have told me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your instance, you do, and there are a lot of people that would like to know. You know,
Yes.
they would like to know, like you said, to make sure that they're safe. And some people are unapproachable. They like Alexis Ice. Yeah, Alexis Ice.
Oh yes, I'm here.
You made a point that some people don't. You can't tell them nothing about their spouse.
Exactly.
Jamie said she wished somebody had told her, and there's a lot of other people wish somebody would tell them.
Hmm.
You don't want to be blindsided. You know,
Amen.
yeah. So thank you so much, Official Jamie, for coming on to the panel. The panel is always open to you. Thank
No
you so much.
problem. No problem.
All right. Okay. Now, the servant David shows that I missed some comments. Okay, let me go back up. Okay, he said I was put in a situation where I have the right to end someone, but I choose not to. End someone how like their life or something like that. Donna Green said, if I see you cheating, I'm not opening my mouth because it's a crazy world and I love my life. Parts are wrong. Okay. The servant David said, with this guy, his daughter was assaulted in a sexual way by two people. They went to jail, but then came out very quick. He found them and shot them. I feel he had the right to do so. Now he's serving life. Wow. Wow. Annabelle said, I was with someone for 4 months and one day I found out he was married with two kids. Oh my God.
Wow.
See about that 2 month period. Because if in about 2 months, a slick talker probably could swing a extramarital affair for 2 months without the other person knowing. But somewhere around that 2 month, 3 month, you at some point you're gonna want to go to his house, and then he probably could swing it 2 months. If he real slick, he could swing it for 4 months. A good
You know something? I thought about something. I got a good friend. She was dating this guy, and so I knew the hometown that she said he was from, and the position she said he had in his hometown. He was like an elected official, so she should have been known. But when she was, she was telling me that they never went anywhere, and I'm like, really? So that's my friend. She's from a small town. I know people that own business in that town. So I began to ask them, so and so, so and so. They never knew him, and I was like, girl, he either lying to you or he done gave you a fake name because no one seems to know that person with that name.
oh,
And so, yeah. And I'm like, for him to be an elected official in that town, and I know people that own businesses in that town, no one seems to know him. I think you're dating someone under a false name.
probably
And
so.
I still to this day, like, he ain't giving you his name because no one knows him. And for him to be a top elected official,
He probably put
yeah.
a fake name. Good morning, Coffee and Donuts and Tropical Fish. Welcome back. Yeah. I just feel that a person, um, if you don't want to be in a committed relationship, or if you don't want to be in a marriage, Don't put the other person at risk. If you tired of the marriage and tired of the relationship, just leave the relationship, leave the marriage, leave it. If you tired and unhappy, why are you staying? Just leave. Be free. Be free. Don't drag the other person along. The other person thinks they're in a committed relationship. They are taking their vows serious, only to find out you in the streets living foul. Just leave.
Exactly. Drop the link, Miss T. I think some people want to join.
Okay. Why would you want to make somebody else's life miserable? You don't want to leave. You out there still living like you single. And that's not fair to the other person. That's not fair to the other person. Just leave.
It's not. It's not. And then you know one thing. Sometimes the person that's cheating will make the other person life miserable. They wouldn't. They don't leave. You know, it would just make their life miserable when you know. For example, I know a person that their husband. You know, and I know if I said this earlier, their husband, sister, and them all club together. And so one night the sister is in the club with her friends, and she runs up on the brother-in-law in the club with his girlfriend. And so the brother-in-law began to dislike her. He was trying to bring division between the wife and the sister so that the sister and the wife never would get by themselves to talk because he knew the sister-in-law had caught him in the club, you know, cheating.
Oh wow. Okay, it's now 6:50. Let me make some announcements real quick. If you would like for us to give you a channel or shout out, or if you want to send a birthday wish to you or someone you love, send us a message on Instagram at W.T.F with the family Tabers. Also, if you want to be added to the prayer list or someone you love needs to be added to the prayer list, go over there to Instagram and leave us a DM. Every Wednesday is viewers' choice. Leave a topic in the comment section under this video, or go over to Instagram and put it in the DMs, y'all. It goes down in the DM. Every Friday, we will highlight a different YouTube channel, and we are only highlighting YouTube channels that have less than 500 subscribers. So, if you want your channel to be considered to be to highlight for us to highlight it, go to Instagram, and I'm trying to think of something that we can do special to highlight the channels going forward. Something other than a shout out. Maybe we can do. We're gonna have to put our brainstorm, Alexis Ice, something we can do special for them. Really get that
Oh,
channel out there. Okay, so that's a project we need to work on. Okay.
okay.
Our happy mail address is P.O. Box 443, Indianola, Mississippi 38751. It's now 6:51, so we're gonna go ahead and invite the guest up. Care of the miniature girl Payne. You are now on the panel. Good morning. How are you?
Yes.
Welcome back to Coffee and Donuts.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Oh, okay. Okay, y'all. I just got to tell y'all the time that I got cheated on.
Okay.
Now, the way I found out, let me tell you how I found out. So, this is my man for 7 years. We engaged, everything.
Oh wow.
So, we went back and forth to, we got engaged a month after we had got together.
Okay.
And so after 7 years, he had started acting all distant. Now you know when they start acting all distant and all that stuff. And then he had started wearing cologne. I said, "Oh hell no!" Oh,
Wow.
excuse me. So I said, "Oh no no no." What's going on after 7 years? And so I kept asking him. He wouldn't say nothing. So I had my sister watch my child. I said, "You know what? Something going on." And so he did the night shift. So he got off at 7 a.m. And
Mhm.
so at 5 o'clock in the morning, I went up to his job and I parked my car in the parking lot so I could see his car, but he couldn't see me. And
Okay.
so I was in the corner, I was in the cut. So
Okay.
I had turned my car off about 15 minutes before it was time for him to get off.
Mhm.
And he came out the door and started his car up. And so I'm sitting there and I had all my lights off and stuff. And I'm easing down in my seat. And so he came out, he started his car up and he warmed it up, he kept it running and cleaned it off. And so I was like, oh my God, it was snowing. And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm just making a mistake. And so I said, forget it. I just sat there though. And so he went back in the job. And then when he came back out the job, he got in the car. And I said, you know what? Let me just tell this man that I didn't up here acting a fool. And so something said, shut up. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh my God, wait a minute, wait a minute. And so, I didn't say nothing. So he started, he got in his car and, my car was running by then. And I said, you know what? I'm not turning these lights on. So I didn't turn my lights on either. So as he went past me going out the driveway, I started creeping real slow, but I still didn't turn my lights on. He
Mm-hmm.
stopped his car, so I stopped my car. And so then this little lady comes out the job, honey, about 5 feet tall, if she was that tall. And she gets in the car. I
What?
said, oh, okay, okay, it's
Uh,
on. And so, honey, she came, got in the car and sat down. She got in that car. I flicked them lights on like I was the police and ran right to the side of his car. That lady jumped out that car and ran
oh,
back in the job. And he
wow.
was like, he looked at me and he took off down the street, y'all. Now we y'all we on the streets. That dude took off. I took off right behind him,
Wow.
and so he doing like 40 miles an hour. I'm 45, right with him. I'm right with him, going behind him, and he stopped at the light. Girl, I bumped right into his car with my car. He
But
he hollers out the window, "You crazy? You crazy? What's wrong
they
with you?"
crazy. They doing a dirty one to call you crazy. But if she
Right.
was smart, if they were smart, they could have played it off. Said, "I'm just giving her a ride home." But they were cold blooded.
Yep.
They were wrong.
There you go. Y'all, so wait a minute. So he going down the street. He's going down the street. I'm going down the street. He hollers out the window, I'm taking you to the police.
Wow.
I'm like, I ain't never said a word. I'm just sitting back chilling. I'm driving with him. And so he actually goes into the police station parking lot and he stops his car. Girl, I'm telling you, he stopped that car. I picked the crowbar up that's on the side of the car and by my seat. I
Mhm.
picked that crowbar up and got out that car, went over to his window, and he was like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I picked that crowbar up because I was gonna bust his head wide open with that
Wow.
crowbar. And once I picked that crowbar, all this peace just came over me and said, "Go home."
Wow.
I got in my car. I looked at him. I got in my car. I said, you know what? Forget that. I went back to my car and I went home. I packed everything that he owned. I
Mhm.
put it on the back porch. And I didn't even tear up the clothes or nothing. I packed them very nicely. I put them on the outside of the porch and I locked the door. I changed all my locks that same night. And that was it. And do you know, for the next 2 months, no, wait a minute, a week later, our rent was due. He slid the rent under the door, under
But
the back door.
Oh
uh-huh.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, he slid that rent under that back door. And then like I'm telling you, about 2 months later, every day I came home, every week I came home, he would be in the backyard with his car parked, sleep in the car.
Are you
I'm
serious?
like, so yeah. I'm saying, so now you can sleep in the car. When you had a home to sleep in, you couldn't sleep in it. And
Mm-hmm.
so then, like I said, about 3 months later, we got back together. He started talking, but every month he paid the rent. But I'm just like, you know what? He never cheated again. We stayed together for like 11 years
Oh
and
wow.
he never cheated again. But I mean, why I had to do all that?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I understand that. Honey, I would have let them went to their destination. I was just following. But I understand
Exactly. I
when
would have followed.
that adrenaline is pumping, girl.
Yep.
Yes.
Girl, I was on 100. I was like, ooh, that was God that stopped me, y'all, because I was gonna bust his head wide open. I swear to God, I was, and I ain't even that type of person. But when they pick you that far, he had took me too far.
Yeah, he had to take you too far. And then they push you to the edge. And then when you react, they tell it, oh,
Yep,
crazy, she crazy. No, you push this
Uh-huh.
baby, you push me.
yep,
Now you telling everybody I'm crazy, but you made me like this. You did,
yep.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Exactly.
exactly. That's
girl.
it. That's it, y'all.
That was a soap opera. I was sitting straight up listening.
Y'all
Okay,
have a good day.
thank you for coming up.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay,
Let's see, what was the name of that movie, A Scorned Woman? the lady, she was just, her husband cheated and the new girlfriend just took over her life.
Wow.
And
You
that
talking
was a movie.
about what was the Baxter story? What was that lady's name?
Betty, her
Oh,
name was Betty, I think.
they were like socialites, and the wife, he was cheated, and the wife, he divorced, ended up taking the kids and everything. I think that was his secretary. One ended up just taking over
Uh-huh.
the lady's life.
Uh-huh.
I
Mhm.
almost said it. Is it Carol Baxter story? It's an old
Betty,
one, like
Betty, Betty. But I think, yeah, but it was like two parts, and I mean,
Eddie Bob.
Betty beginning, yeah, she was.
Is that the one of killing the husband?
And the girlfriend, and the new wife, yep,
Betty
yeah.
Broderick story, because she was on she did an interview on the talk show. Betty Broderick. I hope I'm saying her last name right. But it's a
But I mean, he drove that lady. He drove his wife nuts. She had started stalking them, and at the kids' graduation, she was up taking pictures of the girlfriend. I mean, he drove that woman insane.
But that
Yep.
goes back to show you you should be able to be self-sufficient. She depended on his money. He would give her
Oh
allowance.
yeah.
Then when she act up, he would cut her allowance off. So that goes back to being self-sufficient. Let me go back up to the comments. Good morning, Sweet Ree is in the building. Trey and Nene is in the building. Good morning, WTF. Good morning to everyone in this live. Good morning. Y'all, Trey and Nene have a meet and greet coming up March 19th, and we are booked, loaded, and ready. Booked, loaded, and ready. Thank y'all for joining the chat this morning. We are talking about, y'all saw the title, y'all. Cold busted cheating. You busted. So if you see your friend or family member, spouse out cheating, do you tell them or no? So we've had official Jamia and Kara, the girl miniature Buckbang, coming to the panel. And over here at Coffee and Donuts, we talk about real life situations. Real life situations. Sometimes life is beautiful. Sometimes it gets ugly, and we talk about it all. Everyone is always welcome to the panel. The panel is always open. Anyone come up. If there are no right or wrong answers, we respect everyone's opinions. This is a no judgment zone, and we don't have to agree, but we can agree to disagree, because what floats your boat and what's okay for your household may not be okay for mine. But if you love it, if you like it, how they say, we love it. Okay. Who else came into the building? Okay, like Coco said, tomorrow's viewer's choice topic. Please send your suggestion on IG. Send a DM to WTF with the family tables. And it does not matter what the topic is, because it's real life. All types of things happen. So we're all adults over here. So we're going to discuss it tastefully. We're going to have fun. We're going to eat us some coffee and donuts. And that's just how it is. It is now 7 o'clock. It is at the top of the hour. You are tuned in to Coffee and Donuts, all 1,700 of you. So we're gonna go ahead. This is still Black History Month. We're gonna go ahead and get our little known Black History fact. Oh, y'all saw something last night that touched my heart, touched my spirit. Y'all know we have the Still I Rise challenge out. And it does not have to be still. I said Still I Rise, but it does not necessarily have to be the poem Still I Rise. You can read it or recite it, but just a poem related to Black history. You can read it or recite and just tag us in it. And like we always say, we celebrate Black history 365 days a year, not just in February, because we are Black history every day. I don't turn my Black on and off for 28 days. I'm Black 365 days a year. I live it every day. Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for being so supportive. Everybody for tuning in. Uncle J.E. Gianlin. One. Welcome to Coffee and Donuts. Girl, I would mess her name up. Okay, Birdie, good morning. She says, welcome. Good morning, WTF Mods in chat. Did I miss anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay. Coco catch me if I did. Y'all know I try to go back and welcome everybody in, because you're taking time out of your early morning schedule to spend this hour with us. Mondays through Fridays, 6 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So our little known Black History fact today is in 1981, broadcast journalist Brian Gumbel became the first Black person to host a network morning show when he joined NBC's Today Show. Now, there's a little Black known history fact for today. Oh, y'all know I get sidetracked. I was telling y'all about the Still I Rise challenge, right? So last night, the Mogul family put together this piece, Still I Rise. And not only did she put together this piece, she invited, it was like a collab. She invited some amazing content creators, and each one of them had a like a little paragraph to recite. Y'all, when I tell you I saw the young girls, the little girls reciting the poem, I had chills. You have to train them up like that. You have to train them to be, secure and to be a happy Black woman, to be a positive and strengthful. It did something to me. So if you all want to see something positive, you want to see something that'll touch your soul, it's on my community post, and I had no idea, y'all. When I seen that poem last night, I may have looked at it 4 or 5 times. And what really got me was, you have to train a little Black girl. You have to teach her that she's worth it all. You have to teach her that she's beautiful, that she can conquer the world. You have to train them up because society is going to beat them down. But if you give them that foundation and train them up early, you have given them tools to defeat all of the negativity. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I just kept watching it over and over. And thank you to everyone that has participated in the Still I Rise challenge. I put together a playlist so you all can go and watch all the content creators that have participated in the challenge. And when I first did the challenge, I had, just kept practicing over and over and over again. And, that Lynn is like a sponge. She is so impressionable. And the part where I kept saying, I rise, she started saying, she said, I rise, I rise. So I was telling Lexa Ice about it. She said, well, let her have a part in it. And I kept telling her, I had dressed her up and everything. And it was going to be like in the end part. And I said, come on, Jamie Lynn, just say, I rise. I couldn't get her to say, I rise for nothing in the world. She would not do it. She wouldn't do it. She'll sit on the sideline and say it all day, but she would not come onto the camera and just say, I rise. I said, okay, I'm not going to force you to do it. Be your own individual person. So that was my vision when I first did it, to show her, I had been practicing so much to show people that she was listening, and she wouldn't even come up to the camera to do it. But I'm so thankful for everyone that has participated so far. That really did my heart some good. Okay, our thought for today is, don't let fear control your life. No one was born to live a life filled with fear. And the Bible says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but what, Lexus? Of power and sound mind. Did I catch y'all guard?
No, power is time. No, I'm moving around. It's time to go to work. Power and sound mind.
Okay, so that's all that we have today. The only thing I'm going to leave you out with this situation is a sticky situation. Be careful. Some people are not approachable. Some people will not allow you to allow anybody to tell them anything about their spouse. And then you don't know how a person reacts once you have given them that information. It could be a bloodbath behind it. And you don't want to be responsible for that. But like Official Jamie said, she wished someone had told her. So you really don't know. Be handled with care. That's all I'm going to say. Handle with care, okay? Because the couple could break up and then get back together, and then you're the villain in it all. So just handle it with care. Like somebody said earlier, mind your own business. But it's
basically mind your own business.
No right. Everybody's opinion is, accepted. And I hear somebody crying just waking up. So that's all we have for today. Like I always tell everybody, spread some positivity throughout these YouTube streets. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Everyone, stay positive. Be blessed. Have a blessed day.